You ever notice how most people treat pain like a mistake? Like life messed up and let it slip through the cracks. They run from it, numb it, fake their way around it with forced laughs, hollow friendships, and promises that never meant anything. But not you. You didn't flinch. You sat with it, faced it. Let it tear you down and rebuild you. That's why you're still standing. Not untouched, but unshaken. Not flawless, but forged. And that makes you dangerous. See, anyone who's walked through hell without begging for mercy isn't afraid of fire anymore. You didn't come out clean, you came out changed. You came out knowing that the ones who smile while bleeding aren't ordinary, they're something else entirely. They've seen what can't be unseen, felt what cuts too deep. And when no one came to save them, they became their own savior. You remember the nights, the kind that chewed you up from the inside, when your chest felt like it was being crushed under every unanswered question. Why did they lie? Why did they leave? Why weren't you enough? Those nights didn't break you, they built you. Pain didn't come to punish, it came to prepare. While they rested in comfort, you were down in the trenches learning to live without applause, love, or even a lifeline. Learning to throw punches when your hands were raw and your voice gone. And now they say you've changed. Of course you did. That was the point. You didn't evolve to please them. You transformed to survive. They'll never understand the version of you that pain carved out of the wreckage. They still think healing means forgetting. But you wear your wounds like a warning. Not for pity, but as proof. You stopped hiding your silence, started using it. That quiet they mocked, that's your sharpest weapon. They wanted chaos. You gave them calm. They wanted a breakdown. You walked away. You didn't scream, you grew. And nothing haunts people more than the silence of someone they couldn't destroy. Now they whisper behind your back because the front of you demands respect. They know you built strength from the very stones they threw, a fortress from their betrayal. And you didn't need an audience. You didn't need validation. Just grit, discipline, fire. They rooted for the underdog, until the underdog outgrew them. You stayed real, stayed grounded, and they mistook that for weakness. But silence isn't weakness, it's strategy. You didn't lash out. You leveled up. Now they call you cold. Know you're clear, focused. You stopped explaining yourself, stopped waiting for a seat at tables you were meant to flip. Pain taught you the difference between being kind and being used, between being soft and being silent with purpose. The world never claps for quiet healing. No one texts to say, "Hey, I know you're fighting a battle inside." They wait for the glow up. But that's fine, you're not doing this for them. You're doing it because the version of you that needed approval had to die, and in its place, a version that doesn't fold, doesn't beg, doesn't chase. You've got scars now, but you wear them like armor. Your story isn't tragedy, it's testament. You walk through life with the weight of everything you survived, and yet your shoulders don't slump. That's real strength. That's the kind of power that doesn't need noise. Pain stripped away everything false, left you raw, real, ready. It burned away illusions, masks, and fake connections. You didn't lose yourself. You found the core of who you are. They say you're hard now. Good. Be hard. Not out of spite, but out of clarity. Not bitter, just wiser. Not cruel, just selective. You stopped handing out access to people who mishandled your soul. Your peace is earned, no, and it's not up for sale. You used to bleed out trying to be enough for people who would never do the same for you. Not anymore. Now you move different. You talk less, smile more. You don't perform. You don't explain. You just show up quietly, relentless, painfully precise. They thought silence meant surrender. But silence was your blueprint. The rebuilding, the comeback, the rebirth. They thought you vanished. No, you evolved. You know what's funny? Not ha-ha funny, irony funny. The kind of funny that makes you laugh while bleeding. See, most people, they need noise, drama, applause. They crave reactions like junkies crave a fix. Me? I found something better. Silence. Cold, calculating, perfect silence. They used to poke the bear, expecting roars. But now they tap and nothing happens. That terrifies them more than any scream ever could. Because when I went quiet, that wasn't surrender, that was evolution. I stopped dancing for crumbs, stopped auditioning for fools who never deserved front row seats to my breakdown. Let them keep their stage. I built my own damn theater out of rubble and regret. You think silence is weakness? Number silence is when the sharpening begins. Every sorry that never came, every exit without closure, every fake hug. Filed, cataloged, weaponized. You want to know why I stopped talking? Because I ran out of lies to believe. I got tired of watering deserts. Tired of lighting myself on fire to keep paper people warm. That version of me, the apologizer, the explainer, the forgiver, he's buried, 6 feet deep in the backyard of my past. And from that grave, something else crawled out. Something less pretty, more precise. You ever love someone with your whole soul, only to realize they only loved your silence? They loved you quiet, compliant, convenient. They disappeared when your storms rolled in, but showed up with umbrellas when your sun came back. Hilarious. But I'm not their shelter anymore. I'm not their plan B, not their emotional sponge. I'm the flood they never prepared for. Let them come back, with crocodile tears and scripted apologies. Let them knock. There's no door left, just a wall. A very, very tall one, decorated with everything I survived. You want peace? Good. But mine came with casualties. I had to burn bridges while smiling. I had to bury versions of myself mid-conversation. Had to learn that some I love yous are just, I love how you make me feel until I'm bored. And the cruelest part? I still showed up. Even when I was empty, I still gave. Even while I was drowning. They mistook that for weakness. Now I move like smoke. No sound, no trail, just aftermath. They say I'm cold. Damn right I am. But cold doesn't mean cruel. Cold means I finally stopped setting myself on fire for their warmth. You know what pain really does? It rewrites you. Not gently, not poetically. It rips pages out of your story and laughs while you scramble to rewrite the ending. And if you're lucky, you stop trying to win anyone's applause. You just start building in the dark. They don't recognize me anymore. Of course they don't. I used to answer messages before the second ding. Used to bend till I broke just to keep the peace. Now I don't even flinch. Because once you learn the art of bleeding quietly, oh ho ho ho, that's when the game changes. That's when you smile through funerals, not of people, no. Funerals of old expectations. They want the old you back? Tell them to go dig. But they better bring a map. That version of you didn't walk away. He was buried, with honor, in silence. Now I walk light. No baggage, no chains, just scars. Clean, carved, and earned. Let them talk. Let them write tragic stories about the one who changed. Yes, I changed. I became the storm they thought would drown me. I don't want revenge. I want peace so loud it makes them choke. I want success so quiet it makes their ears ring. I want to vanish into my own future and let the silence echo louder than their noise ever did. They think I'm heartless. No, sweetheart. I've just stopped bleeding for anyone who wouldn't even hand me a bandage. And now, when I smile, it's not for them. It's for me. It's the smirk of a man who lost everything soft and built something unstoppable in its place.